So ATL, we have Trish Miller here of Swim, and Swim, SWEM. Is that an acronym? Tell us what that means.
Yes. So our nonprofit is actually called SwemKids. And SWEM is actually Afrikaans. And I know there's a checkered path with Afrikaans in certain continents, but we pulled it back to us because of our checkered path with the water. And so we're stealthily using that instead of swim, SWIM, to bring back our spirituality with the water. So
Yeah,
that's what Swim Kids is all about.
yeah. Every time I talk to anyone about swimming or it's someone who is skilled in terms of swimming,
Hmm.
I just think about my checkered experience with the water because with black kids they'll just throw them in the water.
Yep.
And
Yep. Yep.
I remember having that experience, and I tell people I don't know how to swim, but I know how to not drown. But I want to learn how to swim. But so tell us the connection between swim and the Atlanta Waterboys. I just love how y'all made this connection here.
Uh, uh, so again, we look at our relationship with the water as a spiritual connection.
Hmm.
And when I tell that to some people, they just don't get it because it's like, okay, it's water, you move your arms and your legs. But because of such a beautiful thing being pulled away from us, Jim Crow, segregation, even just the voyage across the water,
Hmm.
those things have imparted a trauma and a fear that the Black community still holds to this day.
Hmm.
So we've been very intentional on changing that relationship and making sure that we now have a healthy and safe relationship with the water. We do that in a couple of ways. So we have the nonprofit called Swim Kids, and that's very intentional from a public health standpoint of making sure that there is representation in the water. So we have Black instructors, brown instructors, to make sure that people can see themselves in this space so they can see that it's a welcoming space for them. We also do this by making sure that we have programming to target and to welcome in groups that historically wouldn't love the water too. So you asked about the Water Boys program. That's actually a program that makes me kind of emotional each time I talk about it because it's so beautiful to see kids that normally are looked at as bothersome or people are maybe even afraid of them sometimes. And these are just young men trying to make a dollar on the side of the street or on the intersection. And so what we did was we partnered with an organization called Helping Empower Youth and the American Red Cross.
Hmm.
And we have instituted a Learn to Swim to lifeguard certification program for these kids that sell water on the intersection. So the pun there is the same kids that are selling you water on the streets now are learning the skills to save your life in the water. And so not only do they learn the skills to save a life in the water, they're also learning things like code switching. So how do you behave in a professional aquatics environment? All of those kind of things. So they even go through mentorship. They go through all of these different things to show them that they can actually have a career in aquatics outside of, and we're year-round swim. So this isn't just a summer thing for them. This is a relationship with the city of Atlanta that puts them to work, and they actually can be employed in its city of Atlanta natatoriums and pools year round. So
Hmm.
they have a choice now. They can decide to sell the water or they can make money using the water. So
Yeah.
that is one of my most favorite programs that we have. And we started with 10 young men. We've taken a break for the summer and we're restarting that program. Well, we didn't take a full break for the summer, but we're restarting that program in another month where they now receive a stipend for them to continue on, which helps to balance out their need to work while they're learning too.
Yeah.
And so
That's
that's in
incredible.
partnership with Microsoft. So Microsoft has funded this program for these young men to learn how to swim and how to be certified as lifeguards.
Yes, I love it, girl. You better name drop all these partners. Come on, girl. I love it. And you know what, Trish, one thing that I love even more just about the whole concept of this program is your very evident passion. Like you look like you are about to burst, girl. You are living in your purpose. And I can tell that you love what you do. And I'm sure that
I,
that benefits, yeah, yeah,
I,
everyone participating.
and this, even outside of being in this particular very spiritual place that we're in, I left my full-time work with the CDC to do this. And I have 2 degrees. I have a master's in public health. I have a master's in business administration. And honestly, when I told my parents that I was going to step out on faith and own a swim school, they looked at me like, what in the world are you doing? Like, you got all of these degrees. I'm gonna need you to stay with your good government job. But drowning prevention is a public health crisis.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to do work that mattered. And I wanted to do work that mattered for me. And so I can't even tell you how many hours I work. It's ridiculous. You don't want to know that. Okay. But what I know is every time I step in this space, I step in it because I want to. And it's the scariest thing that I've done, but it is the most rewarding work I've done. I can't tell you how many times, and I invite you, since you said you don't know how to swim, we have adult lessons. I even can scholarship your lesson. Tell one, tell all. We have adult scholarships as well.
Trish, listen, girl, listen. I'm gonna come up in there like an astronaut, girl. I'm gonna have flippers, goggles, a goddamn a shark fin on my back, girl. I don't play because I don't play when I'm gonna have little tubes on my arms. I get in there, girl, but trust, I'm gonna have me some contractments.
Maria, I know, I hear you, and we'll take all of that stuff off of you and then put you in the water. But let me tell you why I do this work, because I almost drowned when I was 19. And that's the thing that is different about this very Black-owned, female-owned swim school, is that no, I'm not an Olympic swimmer. I didn't come from competitive swimland, none of that. I actually grew up at the oceanfront in Virginia. We never went to the beach. I didn't have experience in the water until I was in college, where I went on a spring break with my girlfriends. They taught me how to swim. All these people teaching you how to swim. They taught me how to swim. I didn't know any different. Jumped in the deep end, and they had to jump. Thankfully, they were still on the pool platform. They had to come in and grab me because I was drowning. I was actively drowning. And it was one of those things that stuck with me. And I didn't learn how to swim. I didn't celebrate my first lap until 2019. And I had already opened the swim school. I had opened the swim school 2 years before that. But what I committed to is each person that had a trauma in the water, I was in the water with them. And we were going through that journey together. And so when we celebrated those first laps, we celebrated them together because it's big, it's huge. And it's one of those things that once you get it, you get it. But what I first had to recognize was my connection to the water. So anyone that's afraid, that needs to put on all this stuff, you first take your first 10 minutes of getting and establishing your connection with the water. You came from it. So it's naturally there to support you. But that's why I do this work. And that's why I'm so excited about it. And this summer, we have so many scholarship programs from amazing corporations that are intentional on getting our people in the water. And so I can't give them away fast enough. And I want to just spread the word as much as we can for people to reach out. And we are happy to get them in the water, and then we'll work on how they continue from there on.
Awesome. Oh, girl, I love your energy, girl. We could be friends, like in real life, like hang out and stuff. You my kind of girl. I love your energy. So listen, I know you have another interview coming up next, but can you go ahead and give everyone the contact information, social media, website, phone number, location?
Absolutely. We are serving people in the water right now at Agnes Scott College. It's one of our indoor locations. It's the only one that's open right now due to COVID, but we have several locations. But you'll find us online at atlantaswimschool.com. That's where you can register. You can email me at info@atlantaswimschool.com. If you are writing in about a scholarship, you have a group, an organization that you would like us to talk to about scholarshiping those children or adults, please email me there and just mention that you heard me on the station and we'll take care of it. And I'm Trish Miller. Oh, and our Instagram, follow us, please. Follow us, see our great work at ATL Swim School or SwemKids.
I love it. Well, Trish, you are an incredible woman who's super passionate, and you are definitely making a deposit towards your place in heaven, girl. You are so amazing. And we appreciate your time and sharing this very valuable information with our listeners. And we wish you continued success. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Have a great one. Bye-bye.
You too.